Mayor Rothschild, what's the word?
What's good?
How you doing, bro?
Shit, chilling with the family.
I feel it.
People trying to be there weekend.
How'd you get the Mayor Rothschild name? Talk about that.
Gave it to myself. The Rotten Child shit that's really my brand. It's a couple different ways to explain that whole name, but one thing I am big on is like community, at least for my family. So I just want to be like that spokesperson for the family. So it's the mayor.
I feel it. Tell me about your upbringing, man. What was that like?
I had both parents. It was, my mama was a single parent household though. Stayed with her up until 7th grade. Moved with my pops 8th grade to Westland. I was fucking with it out there. Like, that's what really started making me see like shit everywhere and just the ghetto. So when I was out there, when I was little, I always wanted to go to college. Never knew for what. I ain't never had like the hoop dream or no shit. I always been little as hell. So kind of smart. Just knew I was gonna go to college. Got out there, ended up going to OU. Dropped out right after the first semester.
What made you drop out?
That shit wasn't for me. Right before I went, I really wasn't even trying to go. My pops was like, he wasn't the president of the union at Ford at the time, but he was plugged. So I was trying to get into the plant, and he was just telling me like, you know, you smart, you could be writing their checks, woo. Just some shit the parents should do, but I wasn't really trying to hear that shit. I just went to college because I ain't know what else to fucking do. And then I got there, was broke as hell, ended up getting a job. When I had the job, I couldn't really go to class. Shouts out to anybody who can do that shit, because I'm not that nigga.
What was you working at?
The Nike store. The Nike store in Great Lakes. Yeah, that shit was only seasonal though. They let me go early because I was on some bullshit. I wasn't going to work. I knew it was about to come to an end anyway, and a little bit of fast money was coming, so the hours wasn't worth it either. But ended up being fired from there, and then, while I was going there though, I met my man's Keith, and he was in the reserves for the Army, and he had told me about just a little Navy benefits, and he told me something about the school benefit. So I just looked that shit up on my own, and then seen if you do an enlistment, you would get paid for going to school for like 4 years. So decided to join the fucking Navy. I ain't even gonna talk to no other branch.
What was the Navy like?
Overall, it was straight. I ain't gonna down it because that shit really do be saving some people. But it was just another one of them things where I knew that shit wasn't for me. Like, I'm not trying to have a nigga tell me what to do. You can't rank up unless you want some dick sucking shit for real. Like, that shit wasn't for me. But if you don't know what you want to do in life, and you ain't got like no guidance at all, for sure go to that motherfucker. Cause you either gonna get stuck in a decent situation, or you gonna hate that shit and realize you gotta figure something out. And that's really what it was for me.
So you was on the side of hating that shit and figuring something else out.
Mm-hmm.
So you get out the Navy in how many years? How long was you there?
I did a 4-year enlistment. I was stationed in Cali the whole time. In San Diego.
Okay. So the day you're done with the Navy, what was next? What was the mindset? What was next?
Real shit, it was no plan. Like, none at all. And I knew it was gonna be like that. I wanted to go into the Border Patrol because I knew they made a decent amount of money. Shout out to my man's job. Like, he had put me onto that early, but Border Patrol wasn't fucking with me either. So after that didn't fall through, it really was like no plan. My plan was to go back to the crib, chill for a couple weeks, and then just figure shit out. But like I already told myself, I'm gonna give myself time to bullshit just to get it out of my system. And that's when the first kid was born. So I had to figure something out after that.
Okay. So after the kid born, you got some bullshit out your system. What was next? Like, what was the next move? What you into?
I had to get a job. And then I figured that shit out. Figured that shit wasn't for me either. So while I did have a job though, started Rotten Child Productions. I didn't know what the vision for the company was gonna be for real. When I first started it, I just knew I figured some shit out about business credit. Fucking with Sean, moved in with him. We just talk about that shit for hours. Just started putting shit together, so I started a business. Like literally didn't do nothing with it. Opened a bank account, did all the paperwork shit. And then, shit, once that started falling through, I just realized what I stumbled upon. I just kept diving deeper down a little rabbit hole. And now I got 3 businesses.
Okay. So, you said you got 3 businesses. What are the 3 businesses?
Rotten Child Productions, LLC. Rotten Child World, LLC. And then I Support Detroit, LLC.
Right. And, you know, like when we talking about these businesses, what does the first business consist of? Like the very first one. Now that you kind of figured it out and got your feet on the ground a little more.
So, Rotten Child Productions, I'm really gonna have that as like my business structured around music. Right now I'm in audio production school. So it's like I'm learning about every aspect of producing audio, from music, films, games, all that shit. So that'll really be geared towards that. Everything I learn, put that all under one umbrella. That'll be the productions. Rotten Child World is really the goal behind it is for financial literacy for the upbringing. But it's really just overall for everybody, in the grand scheme of things. But right now, that is really just clothes. I'm using the clothes to build my capital for the shit I want to do, because it's a lot of ways how I want to get this across to the kids. And clothes really a quick way to build capital, and if your network's strong enough, you can really run up a check off clothes.
Facts.
And then I Support Detroit. Really inspired from your shit. Same concept, but I saw that Detroit really had some big shit going on, and it was getting recognition, but not showing love for real. Like, it was still just all the hate and shit being blasted. So decided to start a page geared towards just supporting anything Detroit. Like, not on no street shit, none of that. Like, if it's Detroit, we fucking with it, we promoting it. We don't care what no outsider or insider got to say about it, if the shit Detroit. So just to make sure that we get our just due, like Atlanta type shit. But I want to make sure we get the clothes, we get the food, we get the hairstylists, everything. The renovation companies, trucking companies, anything.
Yeah, we definitely don't get the recognition. Just, I was talking to somebody on Facebook the other day. They talked about names on food spots. I said Detroit. Everybody started laughing. Like 4 or 5 people start laughing on the page. But as far as the financial literacy shit, man, like, how did you get on that wave? You know, how did you get that information and start feeling like, you know, you were ready to run it as a business?
Really. So I got on the wave really just through trying to learn history, and ended up coming upon trust law. So that shit run deep as hell, but trust law basically just evolve around businesses and setting up, like managing your own affairs, basically, just all throughout life. So once I saw the value in it, I saw how much this topic was missing, and not just our community, damn near just period. I don't know if families talk about this in their own household, but this is not talked about on no big platform nowhere. So I wanted to be a part, or I had to do my part in getting that information out there.
Okay. So, where do you see yourself going now? Like with that, all the 3 businesses and stuff going forward?
Keep catering to these 3, and honestly start more. Like I done already in my mind, I got another 2, just based off my kids. Because the way I see it, damn near everybody is about to be a celebrity. So if I teach my kids how to capitalize off that celebrity before they even hit that stage, or if they hit that stage at a young age, they'll already know how to maneuver just from face value. So that's really where I'm going with this shit, like how we can do that, and not just for my kids, like all of our kids. For like, that's why I come back to everybody with anything I learn. It's like I would expect for all of y'all to pass this shit down, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not just passing it along. Like I'm making sure y'all get it, but I'm for sure making sure Billy and Six get it. Like they first and foremost.
Facts. Anything else you want to say before we close this interview?
Shout out to my family. I really feel like that's the real reason why I am the way I am. Just because we like a tight-knit ass family, down to cousins, aunties, uncles, brothers, all that. Like even with my step-siblings, like they my real siblings for real. But outside of that, that's really it. Like anybody I consider family, a shout out. I ain't about to get the naming people, but that's it.
Thanks. Mayor Roddenchild, man. Thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate it.